we don't own the rights to this music.
No, we don't.
Okay, we just acting silly right now. It's almost that time.
Come on and sit down.
Come on and sit down. All right. Gonna turn the music off now.
Turn it off, girl. Let's get serious. Let's get serious. Is everybody here?
All righty, guys. First of all, thank you guys for tuning in again this Friday. We're so glad that Chantel is back.
Hey, y'all.
And she ain't feeling under the water no more.
Not no more.
So tonight, we're going to have pretty much a serious discussion. Tonight, the topic is going to be molestation in the Black community. And why do we cover it up so much? So it's going to be, I want to set the stage for us to be able to have this conversation freely, because it's been so often, so many times that this is a conversation that, you know, we talked about briefly a few minutes that we don't talk about. So we definitely don't want to trigger anybody, but we're also not trying to give the predators a platform where they feel like they can continue this type of behavior without there being some type of
with consequences.
Absolutely.
We know who you are, and we finna set it out there. Tell your story. Be comfortable. This is a serious topic. Do it. Whatever you have to do to break the ice for yourself. But this is something that needs to be talked about. We can't keep allowing you guys to get away with the things that you're doing to our children, to us, and to these individuals out here in our Black community. So we exposing you. We ain't exposing your names, but we exposing we exposing who you are,
right?
Your content,
right. So we don't want you to think that this is not malicious content. We're not going around and, you know, hey, now I might be transparent in my own story and share some of the people in my family or people that I, you know, that in my family. Right. But of course, this is not a bashing session to identify. Now it's up to you if you feel compelled or feel led to tell the truth for your family. But I've talked with so many females, a lot of them who are actually my Facebook friends, social media friends, that I never ever knew that they suffered or had some type of molestation or, you know, in their background. But I want to start off first by telling my story. You know, back in October, it ain't even been a year ago, I came to the center and kind of shared this. All this is very new for me. Back in October, it has not been a year, I found out that one of my brothers, my sibling, is a freaking Chester. So I'm here to be very, very transparent. You know, this is a year fresh for me. And when I think back to my brother and some of his past relationships, now I see the dysfunction. Now I understand why some of those women did some of the stuff that they did, because they might have caught my brother messing with their kids or their grandkids. You know, and it's not me trying to shame my family or make my family feel some type of way, but at the end of the day, you know, this sibling of mine shouldn't continue to get to walk around and live freely and nobody talk about it. You know, we'll tell when, you know, so-and-so go to jail for prostitution, or so-and-so go to jail for dope, or she messing with pastor, or, you know, we'll tell all of that. But for some reason, there's a shame that comes along with the term molestation and it being a family member of mine. Even to go a step further, after that, I found out, it was in the Columbus News not even 4 months ago. I got to live in my truth. She'll probably get so upset that I'm saying this, but my daughter's father was arrested for child molestation down there in Columbus. Not even 4 or 5 months ago was on the news. So, you know, that was a double whammy. So I've had, within the past year, one of my siblings and then one of, you know, my children's father, you know, being, you know, accused and being molesters. So this stuff is real and we don't talk about it. Why do you think we not talk about it, Chantel?
I think we don't talk about it, first off, because some of us are ashamed. I think some of the parents of these predators and pedophiles are ashamed and they feel that where did they go wrong?
Right.
Did they do something to cause their kids to be a manipulator? for me, I feel that also too, we try to hide what's really going on. Some people don't be honest about their parenting skills, which probably have caused them the things that they have done around their children. And also too, they may have been to blame why some of their kids are pedophiles and some of the things that they have did around their kids. Being inappropriate or, introducing them to intercourse too early or whatnot, forcing them. Some people force their kids to have intercourse. So I think some parents are in denial of their parenting skill years ago. They don't want to accept it because the first thing people ask the question is, well, where did they learn this from?
I think what you're trying to say, and I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but to kind of make that sound better. Mm-hmm. Because I wouldn't say it's always I would disagree when I say it's always a parenting skill. Mm-hmm. Because, my mama didn't raise no pedophile.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? But my brother just turned out to be a fucking Chester. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to lay down and have a baby with a fucking Chester. Mm-hmm. But I laid down with somebody and he's a freaking Chester. Right. So I wouldn't say it's always parenting skills, but what I will say is what you're probably trying to say is cultural betrayal.
Okay.
In our community, Black people, we hold, like I was saying earlier, we'll tell, girl, I can give you a true life story. When I moved inside the Dub, when I moved to East Winton, when I first left my ex-husband, I moved to East Winton, and there was this pedophile that stayed right next door. Mm-hmm. Nobody never told me he was a pedophile. They would tell me everything else. I'm going to tell you how I found out Buddy was a pedophile. Buddy was peeping through my window one night, through my daughter's window, and I ran out there with a 9mm on him. That's how I found out he was a Chester. So people will tell you every other thing, but they won't tell that. And I think in the Black community, we have this thing of cultural betrayal. It's kind of like, how dare you go and tell that? Mm-hmm. Be quiet. You understand what I'm saying? There you go. That's another manipulation in the Black household that we should de-ex completely. What goes on in this house stays in this house. Now, I get the concept of us having some type of unity in this household and being loyal to each other. But it's some things that you ain't supposed to be loyal to. Again, cultural betrayal, because it's kind of like we can tell everything else, but how dare you tell that your daddy touched you, or how dare you tell your uncle touched you, or how dare you tell your brother touched you, when we all know that in our families, we all got one. We all got one. We just don't want to tell it because then when we tell it, what's going to happen is everybody else in the family, everybody else in the family always call me a big mouth anyway. I talk too much anyway. I tell too much anyways. But my thing is the stuff I need, which y'all should be telling, we're not telling. We're letting a sibling of mine walk around knowing this Negro been a Chester all this time, and I'm just now finding out. I have zero dealings. Yeah, it's my sibling, it's my brother, but guess what? I have zero dealings with them. When I found this out, I called two of my other siblings and told them, hey, when I see Buddy, ain't no telling what I might do. He might take me out. I might take him out. But on sight, he doesn't know I know what it is. So for me, I can't include myself with that type of behavior. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And we continue to perpetuate it. They'll let, my brother been coming to Thanksgiving and all the dinners all these years, but I ain't going to call this family member out. But it's another family member that'll go to their grave hiding this person's secret, knowing they ain't going, well, he's a freaking pedophile. But then y'all will make me be wrong and be the one for sharing this truth. No, I don't want you to come around my homeboy or my homegirl with your kids knowing that my brother is a freaking Chester. Don't look at me wrong because I'm saying it. Don't tell me I'm culturally betraying my family because I'm speaking the truth. You mean to tell me you would much rather me tell you that so-and-so creeping with Pastor Girl, or so-and-so, she over there selling dope, or girl, she down there stripping in the mat. You would rather that perpetuate that type of narrative versus telling when somebody is a freaking pedophile? We all got it in our family. I want to read this comment really quick. Nice topic to discuss. I'll check this discussion with you later. About to do a photo session. All right, that's D. Suey Soul. That's one of the Black photos.
Shout out to you, D. Soul.
I gave him a shout out last week on his Black business. But yeah, okay. So I mean, cultural betrayal is one thing. So why do you think for generations and generations that we've hit it, and where do you think some of this behavior kind of generates from?
First off, we need to stop using the word that person was sick. Because me personally, I think, just my opinion, you know right from wrong. You know that if you need some help, you need to reach out to someone. You need to talk to someone. You need to admit the things that you have done. You can't keep using that you were sick and repeating the same behavior over and over. People who are sick need assistance.
Right.
And if you're not receiving assistance for what your diagnosis or what you're sick for, then to me, I just think you're using that as a crutch to keep on getting away with the behavior that you have been doing. That's first off. Second of all, generations and generations. To me, I feel it started way back when, where people felt it was okay. It was okay to do it was okay to to force someone to give it up. And then it started, like I said, people start covering up with different kind of names as being sick and as being not well, and he didn't know that he or she didn't know what they were doing. And
what about this? What about this right here? Because what I was trying to get at, what are some of the in our society today? What would be some of the contributing factors that you would say why we cover it up? I mean, I'm thinking of one off the top of my head that just is ringing. Why? What entities? What institutions? Why do we cover it up?
Image.
Church. And I'm not bashing church, but the first thing that comes to mind is church. What you said, image. You have this image of this structure, of this institution that's supposed to be oh great, oh holier than thou, and everything good and everything righteous. But then you have all of these secrets. And there's one brother that I'm thinking of. I gotta say his name, allegedly, for Andrew Caldwell. He's one of those that I think of. I think of that brother all the time when you think of how the institution of churches have molded and manipulated. I mean, I'm thinking right now of 2 or 3 churches in Columbus that I know for a fact. I went to those churches. I grew up in some of those churches. I played with some of y'all that I know for a fact that y'all incestuous. But guess what? Ain't nobody gonna talk about that. And it's not me trying to call out that population of people. It's just for me to get the people who've been traumatized to be able to heal. Let me read these comments really quick. Nicole Marie Walker says, that's exactly how it happened to me. When I told what he did, nobody had my back. That is so prominent with Black females. You guys always say that we're boisterous, we're loud, we're too this, we're too ghetto, we're too that. But then when we stand up and I speak our truth, nobody ever believes us. So that's why you mute our voices when it comes to this sexual, molestation. Yeah, our voices are always muted. But then, and we're not even talking about no Me Too movement. We talking about right here in the Black community. We talking about why your brother get to touch you all them years, or why your brother laid up and had a baby with his own sister and ain't nobody talking about it. And then we got to continue to let these other generations live out this lie. I'm not telling y'all anything what I've heard. I'm telling y'all stuff that I've lived and I've experienced and I've seen. I went to these churches with these individuals. Some of them are borderline family members.
That ain't grandma baby.
That's it.
That ain't grandma.
It's incestuous.
That ain't grandma baby.
Marvin Leonard said you better put that phone on vibrate.
It's on vibrate, Marvin.
But it's really weird how we will foster an environment for these pedophiles to be comfortable with continuing to do the same thing. We'll tell the people, we'll hush the victim. Girl, hush, don't you say nothing. Don't you say nothing.
He didn't mean that.
He should have been walking around him. Like that. You should have had some clothes on. You know he's sick. He ain't right up in the head. All that is a freaking cop out, man. We've got to stop putting these pedophiles in a position to feel comfortable with, to continue to live amongst our children. And then we as adults, we are the ones who are in violation because we are not calling them out. You guys would not believe how many of my female Facebook friends who have been violated. Well, they haven't been violated. They got a family member who's doing the violating. You understand what I'm saying? And at some point, like Chantel said, it is an illness. It is a sickness. But at what point do you stop? At what point do you take responsibility for what you're doing? At what point, as family members, do we continue? Do we stop allowing Junebug to come to Thanksgiving, knowing that Junebug gonna mess with somebody's kids? Right. You understand what I'm saying? Now we'll tell, girl, go put your pocketbook up because Tawana might steal, or girl, go put that up because Chantel might steal. But we ain't gonna go tell, go put your baby up because your man like babies. And it's not about little girls, little boys. We got to pay attention to our boys are being molested the same way. Our boys are being tampered with at an alarming rate, and there's nothing that's been done about it. For me, one of the places that really nurtures and fosters this environment, and again, it's not bashing, but the church. The church got all kind of incestuous behaviors going on. I can remember I was talking with my dad about this the other week, not even a week ago, when I told him that this was going to be a topic. We talked about, and my dad laughed because my dad chuckled. And I said, Dad, you are so freaking wrong to laugh because that means you knew what was going on and y'all allowed it. There was this family who was a very religious family back growing up. And the father in this family would feel on everyone. They came in the house to play with their children. The father would hug and pat every little girl on the butt. Now, as an adult, I know that's wrong. You know what I'm saying? He was very kind of frisky with it. But as a child, we couldn't say that he was molesting us because, hell, he did everybody like that. He didn't pull our pants down. But when you think about it, that foster. And then the thing about it, this person had children. Their sons started emulating those behaviors. Sons have been charged with rape. I mean, when I think of it again, it's not. I'm not going to call it out. But it's a church that I can think of, and I can think of 7 or 8 incestuous people that are in there, but nobody's willing to call them out. They've been going with underage girls. They've been on the internet getting caught with pornography with kids, but ain't nobody calling them out because they can get up here and say, oh, God, thank you, and they can sing, and y'all excuse that behavior. And then y'all going to call me the one who's the demon because I'm telling you what the truth is about who your brother, your uncle, hell, your husband might be. Because I got a brother who won. And a baby dad who the other. And just found this out within 1 year, 12 months. So you think that I'm not feeling some type of way? Of course I am. But it's not going to make me not have any type of open dialogue about what these people are doing and the behaviors that they're partaking in. You want to read that
comment? Read that comment. To say, when I exposed my uncle to one of his girlfriends at the time, said, oh, wow. Don't tell no one else because you know your uncle is sensitive. I was crushed and just stopped talking about it to my family. Wow.
That's another reason.
That's why we're using this platform to not just get, I'm sorry, y'all, I talk with my hands. Not to just get our stories out there, but to make individuals like these individuals now commenting to talk about it, to be okay. Speak about it. Write about it. Build a foundation for yourself to where you can heal from this process that things have that this is a sensitive subject, y'all, and this is something that I personally have went through. I have had family that has tried to tell me how to handle the situation, what they think is best and what I should do, and make excuses for the person that hurt me. For myself, I distance myself from that type of behavior. I also took in initiative to that, like you said, generation. I went through it. My auntie went through it. My grandma went through it years ago, and they are those people that put this stuff in a suitcase and just don't look back on it because that's how they were raised. I'm not going to take that along with me. You will be responsible for the things that you have done to me and whoever else you have done it to. I don't think it's right. I don't think it's fair. I don't excuse the behavior that you have shown. It's blow-up dolls out here if you want something. You shouldn't take what's not yours.
That's true. I'm chuckling, but that's so true.
I don't believe in grandpa saying, come sit on granddaddy lap. Right. That's a way to be, and I'm saying this to my beautiful black queens and kings. You have children. This is not the correct behavior. Don't be allowing your grandmother or your mother to kiss your son in the mouth. And these are things that you may have to pay attention to even deeper. Not saying it's a red flag off the bat, but if it's something that's continuously, you may have to look at it and say, well, if your child is telling no and saying they don't want to do it, you have to pay attention to those things and stop saying, oh, that's your grandma, that's your granddaddy. Do what they told you to do, because it keeps you muted. Sometimes I want to call him and tell him I remember everything you did to me.
And that's the purpose, Nicole, of this platform is it's kind of like this. We're not trying to invoke any type of chaos or discord inside of the family. But at the same token, we're trying to, that same energy and that same feeling that a victim had to walk around with, feeling timid all them years and all them, they can feel that same timidity. Yeah, they need to feel that same way. They need, why, we can't keep making grandmama feel good. Grandmama, we understand that you old and you've been praying to God all your life, but your son is a freaking pedophile. Your son been raping everybody in the family, grandmama, and you know it. Stop running the church acting like God is going to save you. Call your son out. You got generations and decades and generations of your children, grandchildren, granddaughters, nieces, and all that. Nephews now, too, because they've tampered with boys at an alarming rate. You got all these who have been tampered with and traumatized by one person in the family because we're not brave enough to call the Chester out in our family.
Forget a reputation. Forget a reputation. Call these people out. Get them some help. Get them some help. Arrest them. Arrest them. They need to go sit down and think about what they're doing, how they're affecting people. I don't know if anybody on here has ever been outside looking at their body, but I have. I have been outside looking at myself, not knowing how I had got where I was. How did I start feeling where I was? And your parents and them people, wives and all that, they don't care about that. They care about their image. They care about how they look. They care about the person that they married, and they didn't know these things about them. Tell them, expose them, tell them how you feel, because you carrying this hurt with you in relationships, jobs, careers. And we holding it inside because it's still that little girl or a little boy part of us. Right. We don't want to tell because we know it's going to affect someone.
We're traumatized. We're traumatized children walking around in adult bodies. That's all we are. We're traumatized children walking around in adult bodies. And, I hear so many people say, well, if that happened to my kid, I would do this. No, the fuck you would. You know what? Because our children are so freaking smart that guess what? They won't tell you right then. They'll tell you later, and I'm going to tell you what their excuse is going to be. Mom, Dad, I didn't tell you then because I didn't want you to kill them. I'm telling you. So when we think that we know it all and we have it all figured out, we don't. We don't know who the predators are. The predators are our brothers. They're our friends. They're our cousins. They're our uncles. They're our pastors. They're our teachers. They're the next door neighbors. So again, it's not trying to make us be on guard, but it is trying to make us be on guard. Why do we cover it up? Why are we ashamed? Why would I be ashamed to tell you that my brother is a freaking Chester? Now, my other siblings might not tell you that. I'm just being honest. I love them to death, but they ain't gonna tell you that. They not that transparent. Because guess what? It's a shame that's attached with it. And I feel like with them, they'll feel like, well, you thought that they the one. I ain't touched nobody damn child. I ain't molest nobody, baby. So why would I be embarrassed to say that my brother did it?
Maybe I'm telling you, ashamed of what dirt they have done and think that they'll bring up some dirt that they have done in the past.
I'm gonna say this right here. That's why it's so freaking good to live in your truth. I'm gonna say this. Only thing they can bring up is whatever they can bring up on me is already on the internet. I took them all my mug shots and gave it to the newspaper and told them to air out all my dirty laundry at one time. So that way, I want to bring all of me in the door. I don't want to sit here and knowing that I got a brother who's a freaking pedophile, and then knowing, just say I were to start dating, and I date a guy, and I'm thinking of this guy because I'm looking at him on the feed right now. And I know this gentleman loves his freaking children to death. know this gentleman loves his kids to death. How could I date this man and not tell him that my brother is a pedophile? Come on now. That's what's wrong with the black community. We'll tell everything. You know, he's a puzzle. You know, he used to do this. You know, they used to do that. You know, she used to do that. She used to do this. She used to do that. But they ain't going to never tell you again. Why? Because there, for some reason, there's a stigma or a shame that's attached to if my brother is a pedophile. That don't mean I touch nobody. What I'm trying to do is save somebody else from being able to do it. Predators can still be sitting right there in the room saying they're attracted to you, but be preying on your kids. That's true. And I'm gonna tell you what I researched. When I researched, it said something to this effect right here. While you praying, while you praying, all these generations for all you church folks who got all this molestation, incestuous type behavior and don't want to call nobody out, while you sit here praying, the predators are praying. You praying, but the predators are praying. So you got to be conscious of that right there. You got to make sure that you're conscious of what's going on around and what our kids' behaviors are like. They're not going to always tell you. They might change, but we have to ask these tough questions.
Have that conversation. Ask your kids, have anyone touched you inappropriate? Or ask your children, did you feel uncomfortable? Let them know what uncomfortability feels like. Let them know what being inappropriate feels like. Even a family member who's disabled and they can't speak for themselves or they can't uphold themselves. Let them know in any facility that they're going to that if someone is hurting you, tell me. Allow your family to feel comfortable talking to you. Because in my situation, I didn't feel comfortable talking to my family.
We've seen that even with the other comments on here, and even with myself. I think that, and again, it goes back to culturally, black folk, we don't tell when we know that we got somebody in our family who touching children, and we all know it. We all got that homeboy who touched kids. We all got that uncle who touched kids. We all got that one family member that all of us know ain't no damn good for no children. But guess what we do? We sit there and kiki.
Stop saying JJ ain't coming to the barbecue because he in jail. Honey, he a molester.
Just tell the truth.
He a molester.
Tell the truth.
You don't want him around. Be honest.
Stop inviting people into a space where you know that their children might be violated.
Or you.
Because guess what? You part of the problem. You part of the problem. Enabling. That's what we do as black people. It's called cultural betrayal. It's called cultural betrayal. That's what we call it. We call it, when you tell on your own, we call that cultural betrayal. When I tell you that you don't need to bring, I love you to death, Chantel. You tell Juju and all of them, come on over here. But my brother going to be over here because he messed with girls, little babies and kids. So I'm telling you that. That's called cultural betrayal. Y'all will be mad with me, and my family will be mad at me for revealing that truth about our family, because for some reason we have this preconceived notion that it's us that did the touching. I ain't touched nobody. That's my sick, disgusting, whatever got going on in his mind ass brother that did that. That ain't got nothing to do with me. Now, it ain't like I'm finna go just in every corner stop and just, you know, hey, my brother this, my brother that. But if there's an environment where there are some children or some people finna be around, I'm finna let them know. I don't care if my mama get mad. I don't care if my siblings get mad. I don't care if none of them get mad. I really don't. You know why? Because it's to save the next person. If I know he got this behavior, why would I invite him in? Why? That's crazy. He needs
to be on the front porch. He don't need to be in here eating the macaroni and the turkey and the ham and stuff.
No. It's just weird how much that we've perpetuated this and we've allowed this to go on. And it's weird because if we were talking about anything else, it would be 1 million shares, 1 million views, 1 million this. But guess what? We don't want to talk about it. You know why? Because we're talking about your brother. We're talking about your uncle. We're talking about your daddy. We're talking about your stepsister, your cousin. We talking about you, Shawty, been tampered with. You know what I'm saying? We talking about your pastor. We talking about the minister of the choir. We talking about all the, your deacon board,
your landscaper.
Yeah, we talking about all that. How you been violated, but nobody don't want to say nothing.
I seen you click in and click out. Yeah. So yeah, come on to tell your truth on here.
It's many of us who've been subjected to it, but for some reason we hide this truth. What we do ask you guys to do, we ask that you share this video. We appreciate people who did come in and comment. Subscribe to our Facebook, YouTube, IG pages, all that information.
Send this to someone that you know who is probably a victim or who's healing. We both too are testimonies of molestation and rape and inappropriate behavior also. Don't be afraid to tell your truth. It's a part of the healing process, you guys. When you're at a point in your life where you can talk about something and don't get overwhelmed with emotions, you are beating the healing process. So talk about it. Get on there. Tell that nigga wife. Let her know.
No, we don't use that word. Use ninja. We don't use that word. We don't use that word. No, that's really about it. I really wanted more commentary from people, but I see maybe I don't know, maybe they're not available, or maybe this is just too straightforward for them to be able to dialogue. But again, I'm never going to call anybody out, but I will say this. There's a church down there in Columbus, Georgia, that and it's manifested from generation to generation. It's been in existence for a minute, and it's went down through one generation, and it's always had family ties. And I'm gonna say my truth, but I know for a fact that's an incestuous type of environment. It's been that way. It ain't just started. There are pedophiles in that church, and they allow them to continue to be pedophiles. You know why? Because they're embedded in the church. They're grandfathered in. They daddy went there, or their uncle was a pastor, or their mama is a mother, or they can sing. So we ain't gonna say nothing about it. But I know, I've seen it, I've witnessed, I've been there. I know. I'm almost 50 years old, so it's a lot that I've seen in this particular church. I know some of the male individuals. I know some of the male individuals who've been incestuous with their own sisters.
We need to stop allowing cult behavior.
Because that's what it is. And we as Black people will look at any other type of behavior, any behavior like that in any other culture and just, child, they know better to be doing that. But look at us. We covering up our babies being raped.
And we know better.
We cover it up, and then we get mad at them. We don't listen to them when somebody tells them. Now, I'm not saying it's not no instances where somebody's being wrongly accused. I'm not saying that. So that's why we have to be very vigilant and diligent when we're doing our due diligence to seek out the truth. But we shouldn't just automatically brush these kids off, because there is so much going on. And again, it's not just females and young males. Both of them are being tampered with. It's happening at school. It's happening at, church. It's happening at these summer camps. It's happening, anywhere. Any and everywhere. That's where it's happening at. So you got to be vigilant. It's no face to it. You can go around and thinking that your brother is cool, but your brother around here all the time messing with freaking kids. Trust me when I tell you this. So we've got to get to a point to where we're very, very open, honest, and willing to share the truth about what's going on in our community. Talk about it.
Knowing what words are inappropriate to call your kids. Knowing what type of behavior to be aware of. Absolutely. If someone is a predator or a pedophile or a molester, it's not okay to say a child, a 4-year-old, is sexy. Or they look good because they red, or they got a nice body. They're going to build up to be nice. That's inappropriate, sir and ma'am. You shouldn't be saying that about a child. That's inappropriate behavior, and I wouldn't allow that person to babysit my child anymore. Absolutely. Or be around. So we have to not take that as, me and my baby daddy made a good baby. See, these are behaviors that I think we ignore and we don't take serious until something tragic happens. When some of us can prevent the things that some of us can prevent the things that we allow to not allow to happen, but that we allow to put ourselves in position.
I'm just going through some of the comments, but yeah, it's really, really important. We got to get to a point to where we're not afraid, and we don't carry the torch to this. When somebody in our family has been identified as a sexual predator, especially like a child molester or anything like that, we don't hold the torch to that shame or that stigma. So for some reason, we have to get to the point to where we're willing to be more vocal about it. Again, I'm not saying, just put them in the middle of the town with tar and feathers and beat them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that, but I'm also saying we have to create this environment to where these children and generations of people like myself and you and other people that are identified even in the comments, that we don't have to continue to live generations and generations with this feeling of, oh, I can't tell Auntie so-and-so that Uncle so-and-so touched me because she's going to be mad, or, the family's going to be mad. Excuse me, but fuck the family. Fuck the family. When it comes to this right here, fuck the family. Because the family ain't loyal when it comes to keeping a fucking secret, when it comes to allowing a pedophile in our family to continue to come around and nobody saying nothing. That's not family loyalty. And for some reason, we have this jaded freaking perception that that's loyalty, and we're going to ride till we die when we know that's not right. We know that's not right. I can think of people right now. I'm thinking of places as a young child, all these grown-ass men who was inappropriate, touchy-feely on your leg when they walking by. You understand what I'm saying? Just little stuff that you know is inappropriate. And then when you think back on it as an adult and you look at it, you see where they've been caught or it's been proven where they was a chester. And again, it ain't just men, because women do the same thing. There's so many young boys who've been violated by their grown-ass babysitters.
Or who'll say something like, oh, hit me back up when you turn 18.
That's inappropriate.
That's inappropriate.
I had to check somebody about my son about that a few years back. We don't play them games. We don't play them games. You sit your old antique cougar self down and let him be a child. Just because it's a woman, that doesn't make it right either. And again, for some reason, in our community, we nurture this type of environment. We continue to make it okay. We'll allow these pedophiles to go indulge in this behavior, come back home, and then we'll get mad if people talk about it.
And we embrace these.
We mad. We get mad if somebody talk about it. How am I get mad if somebody talk about my brother? You out here fucking with 4 kids.
First thing they'll be like, oh, someone don't bring up that shit. That shit was years ago. That's what they'll say at the Thanksgiving dinner. But when he shouldn't be here. He should be in jail.
Exactly. How am I get mad because somebody talking about what the dude who I used to date did and now he a pedophile? How am I get mad about that? I might not like it. I ain't saying I might not like it because I'm human. I ain't saying I'm gonna like it, but it's some truth. I ain't got no right to shut them down, especially when it's preventing them from hurting another child. Right. You mean to tell me that y'all will tell me to be quiet, hush up, Tawana, don't tell the secret, because y'all would much rather to keep letting Junebug come to family Thanksgiving dinner and y'all say I'm always creating a problem, but I ain't touching nobody's kids. Junebug the one doing it. And grandma, you fucking keep allowing it. And you keep going to church, and all y'all know Junebug sick as hell and keep messing with folk kids, but y'all keep talking about pray about it. Grandmama dead wrong, mama dead wrong, auntie dead wrong, auntie you double dead wrong because your nigga feeling on kids too. But see, we ain't gonna talk about that.
But we'll talk about somebody who bootleg the liquor stores and the clothes and the CDs. Stuff like that. We gotta do better, guys. We'll tell everybody business, but the business that need to be told. People that you get in relationships with or that you meet, they don't care about your cousin sell CDs and do hair on the side. They want to know the mental health, the criminal health. They want to know if they're a child molester or if they've been arrested. Tell the truth about these people. Tell what they have done, especially if it affects you. If they have molested you or hurted you, why should you go around and keep being a victim, holding that and harbor that in yourself? And this person going around being free, eating at Thanksgiving and getting gifts for Christmas. He don't deserve nothing but some newspaper. That's it. He don't deserve nothing. It's not okay. We might be making light of this, you guys, because we have worked in our healing. Not saying that it wasn't hard. It was very hard. It was very hard, and it is very hard to overcome and accomplish this type of work and this type of healing. It is. But it's not okay. It's not okay to go to these family reunions and things and sit on the whole other side of the park because you don't want to be around him. He shouldn't be there. And you shouldn't put yourself in
I'm
a
going to
situation.
say this. I'm going to say this because I think I've gotten to a point to where I can say this. If he's there, he should be known for what the fuck his truth is. And if his truth is he's the child molester in the family, then it should be known. We've got to stop making it comfortable for these individuals. There are people, when I tell you guys, I've spoken with so many women, and when I tell you women who I've known all my life, some of these women who I went to school with, some of them who've been endured so many traumatic events, but they survived, they overcame. And guess what? They still living a partial truth. You know why? Because their tormentor still gets to walk around, and it's a part of them that they really want to come around their family, but they stay back. And everybody wonder why they don't come around all the time. Oh, the reason why that sister don't come around all the time, because grandmama and auntie, y'all keep I'm wrong. I got to sit here. I got to hold my peace. I got to keep going to my most high, and I got to keep praying. But then y'all want me to, I'm praying while this ninja is praying on me and my kids. We've got to get to a point to where, again, guys, we've got to bring all of us to the room. We cannot leave part of us behind. We got our kids suffering. Look at the trauma that you went through as an individual. You know, if you got touched or somebody did you wrong or made you feel wrong, what makes you think your child ain't endured that? I don't know what made me think I was invincible. Right. I don't know what made me think my family was immune to it. Oh, my folks ain't gonna do that shit me. Excuse me for the language, but I got to live in my truth. I cannot, the person who I am right now, my creator would not allow me to have my sibling around and not tell any. I'm going to use you for an example, Kiki, and not have this woman of God around knowing that she loves her grandkids. I know this chick. I growed up with her. Ain't no way in the hell, and she might know the sibling that I'm talking about if I would have put a picture up. I can't have this sister around with my damn brother, a fucking pedophile. I'm tearing up because it make me hurt to my heart, because that's how people do. They'll have these pedophiles around your kids, your grandkids, and they won't say nothing to you until it's too late. And then they'll make it seem like it's your fault because you should have saw something. How in the hell I'm going to see something, nigga, when you already knew that this ninja right here had these predatory type tendencies? And then I got a loyalty to you. I got a love to you, but you failed to tell me. That's why I get angry with my black people. That's why it hurt me to my heart, because y'all don't know how many brothers and sisters I've talked to and how many kids who've been broken because family continues to allow that predator to come around, and y'all make the victim continue to be victimized day after day, year after year, holiday after holiday, setting after setting, every time, and they just supposed to sit there and take it.
That's how me and you connect.
That's true.
On the first thing. Just this year, you guys, I finally had that conversation with my grandmother, addressing her enabling and addressing the things that she allowed to happen to me and not being there. There's not enough money you can get in this world that allows your kids to be abused and mistreated. So for me, before I had that talk with my grandmother, I didn't think that certain things hurted me. The rape happened, the molestation happened. What hurted me, you guys, was that my grandma enabled this person, had them around at Thanksgiving and Christmas, and give them gifts and embrace them, and felt like, oh, nothing happened. If something happened, then you wouldn't be around. Well, why should I have to go in my room and lock my door and not be around because you're not taking this situation serious? She took it in, and of course, everybody tries to make a little excuse for themselves, but you can't let them get away with it. I found that telling her that she didn't protect me. She didn't protect me. Change your hours. You don't have to be to work at night. Change your hours. Be more attentive. Those things that she used as an excuse that I addressed, it made me much better. Yes, I have my days where I think about it and I be like, dang, that messed me up.
Right.
It really messed me up for relationships and friendships. I don't trust anybody. I think if I meet you on the first date and you offer me a drink, you're trying to have sex. You know, you're trying to hurt me. But it has opened my eyes. It really has. It has opened my eyes. Guys, this I can't stress you how serious this is that it's going on in our community. How it's going on with teachers and teachers, you guys, after school care and with kids.
It's no socioeconomic gender classification.
Mm-hmm.
There's no visual.
Look like
there's no visual.
It doesn't look like one individual.
Right.
It's multiple different people that could possibly do this, not just to your children, but to you. One big thing that I want to address out, catching rides with strangers, allowing them to put their hands on you and stuff like that. Like those type of things, if it makes you feel uncomfortable, you guys, it's wrong. So please take this serious. Please don't take this as we're just sitting here and talking about it. We have to uncover the things that are going on in our community. We have to uncover the things that are going on in our home.
I'm just smiling because my teeth look so pretty and white to me. I'm sorry, but just trying to make light. But on a serious note, though, I the tears that I shed a moment ago and the passion, it's not even for me and what I went through. I'm serious. It's for all the muted little girls who are in a situation right now where there's this person that they were supposed to respect or look up to, or it's a family member and they are timid or their voices are muted and they're being told to shush and nobody's gonna believe you, or to the little boy who's too young and he's being violated, be quiet, ain't nobody gonna believe you. My tears are for those children because you guys really don't understand the impact that the trauma carries from year to year throughout that person's life. Do you understand what I'm saying? You don't realize that, you know, when you've been touched by a family member, it traumatizes your outlook on being around family or what the idea of family is. It does. Because if that's family, I don't want to be around that.
And also, too, it's like an example. And when you allow those type of things and it happens to you in your home, it's allowing that it's passing that behavior down from generation to generation. So if you allow my dad, my father, the man that raised me, to do this to me, and you're my mother and you know about it, then I think it's normal for me to allow my husband to do it. And that's how behavior be passed down from generation to generation to generation. And these people are getting hurt. It's not okay.
I'm telling you,
it doesn't matter what the title is.
I'm looking at this group of people, this congregation and institution of people in Columbus that have lived this religious, this psycho-religious lifestyle for many years, and it's full of incestuous, molestation, pedophile-ish type behaviors, but nobody don't say that because they're in the church, and it's deacon so-and-so, and you know, they sang, and you know, they've been in the church a long time, and you know, it's brother so-and-so, and you know, it's sister so-and-so, and you know, we on the prayer board, so you know, they got a following. You understand what I'm saying? They got a following. Their numbers are up there. You know, they get up there and talk about, God will do it for you. That's all y'all hear. Y'all don't see nothing else. You're so jaded. Only thing this person got to do is say God. When y'all seen it as public record. Pedophilia, pornographic, interstate pornographic stuff, 5 and 6 counts, pornography, underage child molestation. All of this. But y'all okay with it because we put it in the box. And again, it's cultural betrayal. Because as black folks, we don't tell on each other. That's what we talk. You better not tell on nobody.
You better not tell that boy business. They ain't got nothing to do with you. That's why I'm told. You ain't got to tell that boy business. They ain't got.
But we're telling the boy business, but we ain't telling the business that we need to be telling.
But we support them type of people though. We put our money and our time into those type of people. Like right now, we got one view. Excuse me, when you just in, not you, but somebody else, when you just in church last Sunday, you know, we'll fill up the pews in there, but we won't go stand outside the jail of innocent people. We won't go stand in a line to support a black business, but we will support people that we know are domestic violence, predators, pedophiles, and we'll support these individuals, and we make excuses for these individuals. We say the worst thing I have heard is someone set them up, somebody will use their computer.
I'm going to say this right here. As a black woman, it hurts me to see so many black women support these type of behaviors. Because black women are the first ones to defend predatory type behaviors.
A question I have for you.
Okay.
How can I word this question the correct way? Because y'all know she go in. Do you think because some of the black women were a victim of pedophile, a victim of someone being a predator, that's maybe the only thing they know how, not the only thing, but that's maybe the only way they know how to. Maybe they have been programmed and don't know a different way.
Oh, absolutely. I think that's a contributing factor. I think that for so long, it's kind of been the norm to where we don't talk about it or, you know, I can remember as a little girl, when somebody did something bad, like they was a rapist or a child molester, we would say, like, they said, what Junebug? Oh, girl, he up north in college or down south, and, you know, in school, or, you know, they make up some little lie, some little, you know, working down south, what the railroad, whatever, and that was to cover up that incestuous type behavior instead of saying, you know, that's with sister in the family. I mean, I can think of this. I'm going to use my family. There's a side of my family that is so freaking incestuous. The older cousin tried to pick with me. He dead. One of the younger cousins, which was his sister's son, tried to pick with me. I tried to kill him. I mean, and just all of them are just incestuous. You know, they used to say little incestuous ass stuff. You know what I'm saying? When I think back to my brother now, my brother incestuous. You know what I'm saying? I didn't find it out to October, but now when I think back on, you know, his relationship, I see it now. The grown woman and the woman in me sees that pervertedness. But I also see the family members who hid him and condoned that behavior. Now I understand a lot more. Now I understand why they made me be the crazy one and always uphill him. Made me be wrong. Now I understand it. Because he was a pedophile all along. And family wanted to keep that secret because they knew that I would be the one that would probably out him. He ain't got no business being around everybody. He a pedophile. If you want to have, I don't celebrate the holidays, but Ninja, you want to have Turkey Day, go on, have Thanksgiving on Halloween, nigga. You don't need to be there with everybody else. Period. Because we keep letting them come around. We keep letting them get away with the same type of behaviors over and over again. And it's kind of got to the point where enough is enough is enough is enough. But that's really about it. What you think? Any closing thoughts?
This is not to bash anyone. Don't harm yourself. We both of our DMs and inboxes and Straight Talk Tale inbox is definitely available if you need anyone to talk to. Also to CARES hotline that we previously have posted. Also, living your truth. These things are not okay. You made it to Friday. So you got a break for the weekend. You can start over Monday. Be thankful you're still alive. You people are strong. You're great. You're gracious. Living your truth. Start the healing process. It's never too late. You're never too old to confront your predator.
Yep.
You're never too old. It's never too late to tell on someone. It's never too late to tell what someone have done to you. It's never too late to hold someone accountable for their behavior and their actions. You will find that it will be a big relief off you and yourself in your healing process, and you'll be able to move forward.
We don't want you to think that we're trying to invoke any type of discord in any type of family institution or establishment. But at the same token, we've got to get to a point so where we're holding people accountable. We are wondering why we see these kids with these behaviors, why they hurt, why they acting out, why they fighting in school, why they acting like this, why the little girl hot and why she fast. So instead of us assuming, we need to get to the underlying issue on something, the behavior. Some of those contributing factors could be molestation. I know, again, I've talked to so many. There's so many, man. So many. My Facebook friends. So many of y'all queens that have been violated. So many of y'all brothers that have been violated. So many of y'all are the violators. Some of y'all are the enablers. You know your uncle is doggone just, but you don't want to tell. This is the point. It's come a time in our lives and this time in society, and just to be truthful, to allow our children to be able to live beyond the walls of being victimized and preyed upon and molested and having to continue and perpetuate what we're doing. We're asking them to not only be a victim of physical or sexual predatory type actions, but we're asking them to continue to be a victim by lying and smiling through the pain.
I still feel like I'm in jail or in prison because I can't be who I am. That's what you're asking me to be. You asking me to be locked down. You asking me to keep my mouth closed and be muted. And it's time out for all of that. It's time out for all of that. He can come around, she can come around and say, hey, y'all, and I'm back and all that while they're having sex with your son in the closet. No. We're not doing that. It's time to get yourself together. Get your ducks in a row. Be aware. Be open. Be engaged in your kids' life, your nieces, your nephews.
I'm gonna say this. It ain't even that. We don't even have to go that deep. Think about the stuff that you endure. Think about you, female, who on here, and you know that it was somebody who was inappropriate. Brother, you who on here, think about that homeboy of yours who you know freaking inappropriate. Think about those situations. Think about where you were violated. Because all of us have been in the situation. If you ain't been violated, if you either the violator or the violatee, or you to watch somebody get violated. So either way, you're a watcher, participant, or a doer. So we have to, what role are we in? What assigned role that we have? And we have to be accountable to ensure that this does not happen to anybody else. We ask that you guys like, share this video, comment. We want to get more feedback from you guys. I'm kind of tipsy off wine.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
And we really appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm going to tell everybody good night. Good night, Napoleon. Shamika. Kanisha said yes. Good night, Ronald. Tamika Dunlap. Hendrick. Nicole. Sandy. Nicholas. Marvin. Quisha. And Gloria. Again, guys, like and share this video. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. Y'all have a great one. And we'll see you guys on next Friday. We need you guys to send us content for what you want the next next Friday's topic to be. Sorry, but I was kind of woozy, feeling kind of good tonight.
Send it to your uncle and your auntie.
And call your uncle out. It's time that we become transparent.
So when he reply back, be like, what this mean? Excuse me, you know what this means.
So let's become transparent and just have let's set the platform and set the stage so that we can have this conversation freely and openly, guys. Good night.
Thank you. Y'all have been great. Good night.